here's one for you. So your father's a doctor, so I'm guessing you came from like a middle income background. And so nowadays people throw around the word privilege, right? White privilege, rich privilege, right? So for people might say, well, of course you did well because you had a privileged background, right? You have more advantage. What would you say?
I would say that's absolutely right. I would say that's 1,000% right. I also had incredible parents who pushed me beyond what I thought my limits were to excel. But I had chance after chance after chance after chance to succeed, and I know a lot of people who were smarter than me that, well, I think were smarter than me that didn't have the same opportunities, and you may look at where they are today and see less success. And I think it's totally rooted in the opportunities that I was given and my understanding of the importance of taking advantage of those opportunities. And so that's also like why when I look at people who post things or celebrate like some success and don't thank people, I'm just like no, there's a ton of people who made this possible for you, and I think that's always important to recognize.
And so do you think your success is more like, or evenly distributed, or more based on like your genetic background, smarts, just good luck, or just combination of everything?
All right, so let me just give you a story. So this sort of shapes my perspective. So my great grandfather was a slave, and he bought himself out of slavery, and then he bought his son out of slavery. And his son, first generation out of slavery, got a PhD. And then when you look down the family tree, you eventually get to my grandfather, who's incredible, by the way. He was an Ohio State senator. Ohio State senator, like a state senator, is in my family. His kids, so now we're at my mom and her family, all were either physicians or lawyers. My mom went to Stanford. That's where she met my dad, who also went to Stanford. And then there's me and my brother and sister. And so, like, when I think about my position, when I think about my privilege, I'm going all the way back to that moment where my great grandfather bought himself, like had the opportunity to buy himself out of slavery and then buy his son out of slavery. And I think it all started, that was a catalyst for me getting to where I am today. And so that's sort of my conceptual model about privilege. Like, it started a long time ago.
So you really had no choice but to be successful, right? Like, you would have been disowned by the family if you like, if you told your parents, "Hey, I'm gonna get some 9 to 5 job working at McDonald's," they're like, "Yeah, son, that shit ain't gonna work." Like, what the fuck you doing right now? Like you just putting the whole family in line, right? Like all our granddaddy, grandparents, great grand, they're all rolling in the graves right now.
Shout out to my mom and dad. I think that's what they say.
Yeah. So you had some great jobs too, like, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Pluto VR. Like, how did you go about getting these great opportunities?
A little bit of luck, some hustle, and some vision, I would say. Undergrad, I went to a job fair. I wasn't even gonna go. One of my friends, a couple of my friends, Remy and Pascal, who were in my engineering a group, encouraged me to go to this job fair. Took my resume, talked to Microsoft, got the job. It was pretty much happened that straightforward. And so that was a catalyst for the rest of my career. Did the PhD, when I applied to NVIDIA, they were starting this team called Clara, or actually the team that already existed. But what Clara was doing was they were building a pipeline for third-party AI models that could process medical images and run inference on them and do things like identify cancer or take measurements in the images and things like that. And so that just based on my PhD work, it was like a natural segue, really good fit into that team. Had NVIDIA, and then after that, when I went to Pluto VR, Pluto was building this virtual and augmented reality platform to help humans transcend physical distance, and so you could be anywhere in the world, put on a VR headset or AR headset, and then feel in person just like we are right now, even though you were very far away. And so that was just a natural fit because I had already got into AR VR, but also telerobotic procedures, and so I wanted to make a physician in Chicago, for example, feel like they were in the operating room with their patient in Seattle while they were performing a telerobotic procedure. And so natural segue into Pluto VR. And we actually built that system, that telerobotic system with AR VR telepresence while I was at Pluto to just demonstrate the future. And so I don't know, I feel like with Microsoft it was luck, with everything else it was very purposeful because I knew exactly what I wanted to do at the time when I was looking for a job, and found people who wanted to work with me.
See a guy, Remy, he was there when y'all did the run through the Seattle Chamber last week, right?
Who?
Remy, he was there like at the chamber.
Yeah.
I don't ask him so bad. Is your last name Martin?
No, it's not. It's not.
His parents must have drunk gallons of Remy Martin.
I'll have to play this part of the podcast for him. I think you would laugh at it.
Yeah. Is there a difference between building teams and leading teams in like, academia and like the so-called regular work world?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a difference between building teams at different sizes of companies. So just for example, like when I was doing research in academia, the people that I worked with, there were some people that I worked with where the incentives were just very misaligned, and so that taught me a really important lesson about like who I wanted to work with and why I wanted to work with them. And so then like when you look at Doppel, for example, like the most important thing is a passion for helping people. It's all about our mission, and everyone's mission aligned. And so we have this like solid foundation that brings us together. And then there's a quality of like hunger for learning that's also extremely important. That's within everybody. And so what I learned really at Pluto VR and what I brought into Doppel is the importance of culture, and for everyone on the team to be culturally aligned, so that you can really move towards or accelerate moving towards your mission vision.
And how do you know like if your culture is getting off track, so to speak, and you got to reel people back in?
Yeah, I've seen people with the wrong attitude just destroy teams, and I don't know how to put it into a clear, concise, snippet for this talk, but I think it's something you just know. You just know when you see it. It's like, oh, that's not going to work.
And so at Doppel, y'all wanted to deliver distributed, on-demand, diagnostic, and interventional care to underserved communities.
Yes, sir.
Well, like, how do you decide where to go to? Like, obviously, you can go anywhere one time. So do you have like a top 10 list, top 10 communities you want to go to, or how do you make those decisions where to go to?
Yeah, I think the short answer is the universe. The universe has told us and will continue to tell us where to go. The longer answer is we went out and we talked to everyone who would listen to us, listen to their problems, their need for this solution, both now and in the future. And it became very clear that rural areas just right in our backyard, right outside of Seattle, need access to ultrasound specialists like yesterday, and they'll do anything to get access. And so we just naturally developed partnerships with them, and they became our first rollout partners for the services that we sell today.
And who's your customers? Like, is hospitals? Like, who's going to actually pay for this?
Yep, hospitals. Hospitals are the primary ones, and then you have sonographers who subscribe to our platform, kind of like Uber drivers, and then our platform connects those sonographers to the hospitals who have purchased our robotic equipment.
Is it like a certain size hospital, or hospital with a certain amount of revenue, or like a hospital that specializes in cancer, or what?
Yeah, we're focused primarily on critical access hospitals. So there's 1,800 rural hospitals in the U.S. There's about 1,300 of those are critical access hospitals, and these folks they're out there. They're out there. They don't have access to many specialists, and their patients are in dire need of ultrasound.
And these items you're going to bring in, like how big is this?
Yeah, it's about half the size of this table.
Okay.
It's just a cart with a robotic arm on the end that holds an ultrasound probe. Yeah.
And how many of these do you have right now?
We've got 2 of them right now. We're currently in beta development. And then after this round we're raising, we're going to get FDA clearance and then distribute them to a small group of hospitals in Washington, validate our model, and then we'll scale up.
And where are you making these at? You have a factory you make them at your place of work? How's that happen?
Yeah, so we actually partner with third-party hardware vendors. So we're primarily a hardware agnostic software company, and we partner with third-party ultrasound vendors, third-party robot vendors, third-party controllers. Our software brings it all together, connects it to a remote specialist to enable telerobotic and semi-autonomous exams. And so fundamentally, we ship the parts to our office, we put them together, connect them to our software, and then we'll eventually ship those to customers.
And is this made out of plastic, aluminum, steel, or does that even matter?
Yeah, no, it does matter, especially when going through the FDA. This is made out of a variety of different materials that are all safe to use on patients.
And how do you ensure like the quality is what you need when it comes back from the factory or it's actually being made at?
Just testing.
Okay.
We do a ton of testing.
Okay. And this place you got it made at, like talk about how you found them, right? Did somebody recommend, or did you do a due diligence on 10 different places?
Yeah, so a little bit of everything.